The practice of intentionally drawing blood, known as bloodletting, is one of medicine's oldest and most persistent procedures. Its roots dig deep into ancient civilizations founded on the prevailing humoral theory developed by Greek physicians like Hippocrates and later codified by Galen in the Roman Empire. This theory posited that health depended on a balance of four bodily humors: blood, phlegm, black bile, and yellow bile. Illness was believed to be in excess of one humor, most commonly blood. Consequently, bloodletting via venesection, cutting a vein, or leeches became the default cure for a staggering array of ailments, from fever and plague to headaches and melancholy. The tools and techniques evolved over millennia. Ancient Egyptians used sharpened stones and lancets. Barber surgeons of the Middle Ages, recognizable by their iconic red and white poles symbolizing blood and bandages, performed the procedure for the masses. The scary factor, a spring loaded box with multiple blades, and the classic fleam became standard tools in the 18th and 19th centuries, used to drain pints of blood from ailing patients, often with devastating, if not fatal, results. The practice reached its peak just before its fall, as a new era of scientific rigor and pathological anatomy in the 19th century began to disprove the humoral theory. While modern phlebotomy survives, it is a precise science for diagnosis and specific treatment, a far cry from its dangerous speculative predecessor. Parallel to this history of deliberate bloodshed runs the enigmatic and deeply social history of menstruation. To ask about the first females that experienced menstruation is to ask about the origins of Homo sapiens itself, as the evolution of the menstrual cycle is a key trait that distinguishes humans from other primates. The first woman to menstruate is lost to prehistory, an anonymous ancestor from whom all humanity descends. Therefore, the more illuminating historical inquiry is not into the biological origin, but into the cultural and social construction of menstruation across time. In the ancient world, menstruation was almost universally enveloped in a complex web of taboo, ritual, and superstition. It was a potent, mysterious force that cultures struggled to explain. Many ancient societies, from the Israelites to the Romans, viewed menstrual blood as ritually unclean or impure. Levitical law in the Hebrew Bible detailed strict rules of separation for menstruating women. Pliny the Elder, in his natural history, attributed terrifying powers to the menstruating women, claiming she could sour crops, kill bees, and dull mirrors with her mere gaze. This notion of menstrual blood as simultaneously powerful and polluting was not universal but was overwhelmingly prevalent. It often led to the seclusion of women, a practice that persists in some forms today. Yet, it is critical to understand these practices not merely as misogyny or the patriarchy taking place, but as a pre scientific attempt to rationalize a powerful biological process. Menstruation was inextricably linked to the ultimate mysteries of life: fertility, birth, and death. The blood that flowed without a wound signaled the potential for life, but also its monthly absence, making it a source of awe and fear. The two narratives, bloodletting and menstruation, collide in a darkly ironic historical footnote. For centuries, male physicians operating under humoral theory believed that menstruation was nature's way of purging women of their excess blood and humors, thus keeping them in balance and explaining why they were supposedly less susceptible to certain illnesses than men. This belief that menstruation was a natural phlebotomy was used to justify the exclusion of women from bloodletting treatments for specific conditions, but it also reinforced the idea that women's bodies were inherently different and, in the eyes of many thinkers like Aristotle, inherently inferior. The journey toward understanding both practices has been a long ascent from superstition to science. The abandonment of widespread bloodletting marked a triumph of evidence based medicine over tradition. Similarly, the slow demystification of menstruation through the work of 19th and 20th century endocrinologists like Edgar Allen and Edward Doisy, who uncovered the hormonal cycle, moved the process from a realm of myth into one of biology. In conclusion, the history of drawing blood and the history of perceiving menstruation are two strands of a single crimson thread. They illustrate humanity's long and often fraught relationship with the very fluid that sustains us. One story charts our evolving medical practices from a dangerous and misguided dogma to a life saving science. The other charts are social evolution, from a place of fear and taboo towards one of understanding and empowerment. Together, they remind us that the pursuit of knowledge is not just about looking outward to the stars, but also inward at our own bodies and learning to separate fact from the powerful, lingering shadows of folklore. Thank you for watching.